from Gym Hub. I hope you're well. At the start of every year, I feel like the word New Year's resolution comes up all the time. And this video training is to tell you that New Year's resolutions don't work. I'm going to show you what to do instead. Statistically, you might be aware of this, that 60% of people that set a New Year's resolution have given up by week 2 of January, and 85% of people have given up by week 2 in February. And if I'm honest, it's not because they're not good people. It's not because they're not trying hard. They're often sort of wake up inspired January 1. They're optimistic as the calendar changes, this is my opportunity to sort of get a better version of myself. However, there's 2 reasons why we don't usually succeed. I've written down a whole heap of notes. I'm going to share these with you as a resource. And I'm also going to give you examples that might be relevant to you to help your members of your gym. I also want to give you an example to help you as a gym owner. So let's get stuck into it. So the 2 main reasons I find that people aren't achieving goals, whether they're setting them in January or any time in the year, number 1, they set a dumb goal. So a gym owner, for example, sets the goal that they want to make $2 million when last year they only made $200,000. Now, this is like smoking the crack pipe. This is ridiculous. And, you know, those members that come into your gym that say, yeah, I want to lose 50 kilos when last year they only lost 1. At some point, we need to actually stop and reassess. Are we making smart goals here? So that's step 1. And I think that's an easy fix. The biggest reason, however, that people aren't actually achieving their goals is the process that they're using is flawed. So they've set a goal last year to be fitter or to be less stressed or whatever it might be, and they've gone about a process to implement it. However, it didn't work. And then they line up for the following year to achieve something different. Maybe it's weight loss this year. They use the same process that didn't work last year. The definition of insanity is, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So the biggest tip I've got for you here today is if you want New Year's resolutions, if you want a goal to actually stick and you want to be able to tick it off for your members or for yourself in your fitness business, is you need to pull apart the process that you're actually using in order to get a better outcome, in order to actually tick it off and achieve it this year. So forget about aiming for perfect and forget about aiming for these ridiculous goals. Instead, aim for progress. The term resolution actually talks about resolving something. It's committing to lasting change. And the 8 tips I'm going to give you today is about how do we resolve the flawed process that we were using to chase goals last year. If we fix that, we will actually tick off the goal. So number 1 is choose one thing in 1 quarter. So what I mean by this, a quarter is like a calendar quarter. So we're talking about at the start of the year, you're talking about January, February, and March. So you've got 90 days essentially to focus on one thing. Often a member says that they want to lose weight, and that's really, really a good goal. However, if they also decide that they want to run a marathon and they want to learn to dance and they want to register for a bodybuilding competition, what you'll find is their energy and their focus is then watered down across all things. They usually don't achieve anything. For a gym owner, you might decide that you want to get 50 people into a 6-week challenge for you. You want to focus on that one thing for the entire quarter. You want to tick it off and then choose something different to focus on for the next quarter. The risk you have is where you try and do everything at once. You try and do a successful 6-week challenge, and then you try and do a revamp with your sales process, and then you try and recruit 6 new staff, and unfortunately, you do them all pretty poorly. So number 1, choose one thing only and stick to it for 1 quarter, tick it off, and then choose what your next one thing is. Number 2 in these 8 tips to resolve the process that didn't work for you last year is list 10 compelling reasons. So often when members come into our gym, for example, they'll say, yeah, I'm interested in achieving so-and-so. And it's the same sort of lip service that they gave the last gym owner. It's the same sort of rubbish that they talk about at a barbecue. They don't actually even mean it. So they'll set, firstly, too many goals, and then they don't actually choose goals that get them out of bed and get them really juiced up and excited. Instead, they just sort of say things that they've always said. They just go back into that kind of routine. So in order for you to actually have success, 1, you choose one thing, you focus on it for 1 quarter, but you then need to list 10 actual reasons why you want to achieve that goal, how it's going to benefit your life, why that's the one thing that you want to focus your time and energy on, and that's going to help you you to actually overcome the setbacks and when life actually gets in the way. So to give you an example, let's say the member wants to lose weight. They might say that one reason is they want to fit back into their favorite dress. They might say that they want to keep up with their kids on their bikes. They might say, I want to lose the weight so I can stop, having lower back pain. They might say, with less alcohol and less weight on, I can reduce my stress at work, or I can, return to jogging, or, feel good in photos again. So there's a list of these things, and it's our job when we're actually sitting in front of them to actually challenge them to list the 10, and they come up with one or two, and we go, and what else, and what else, and what else? And it's only when they've actually come up with a whole list of reasons that it registers deep in their psyche. You know what? This is actually really important for me. There's more reasons on why I should do this than there are poor reasons why I should actually stay in bed today, or why I should stop and go to a bucket of ice cream or something on a Friday night. Let's say you're a gym owner and you want to get 50 people into a 6-week challenge. You might list reasons for doing that is that you want to help your members to actually get better results instead of just a membership card. You might like to improve retention. If 50 people are part of a challenge and they're enjoying it and getting a good result, they're likely to stay, and they're going to get more referrals and refer their friend in. You might list one of the 10 reasons is that you're going to do a 6-week challenge is to get more case studies that you can use on your website and in and around the reception area when people come in the sales process. You might like to do a 6-week challenge to give your staff a little bit more structure and what they can actually follow in terms of nutrition or training to get a great result. So I think you understand the process. Number one, choose one thing for one quarter. Number two, come up with 10 reasons why you'll actually stick to this goal and see it out this time. All right, let's keep moving. Number three, we need to take massive action. So one of my favorite things to do here is actually brainstorm what it's actually going to require to achieve the goal this year. Once you brainstorm absolutely everything and go non-stop at this list for 5 minutes, and don't stop for 5 minutes, because all the easy ones will sort of come up, and they're the ones that probably came up last time when you failed on the goal. But it's really important to stick to it and think about, well, what's something I didn't do, or what else do I need to consider? Once you get that sort of full brainstorm list out and how you're going to lose the weight, or how you're actually going to make that extra revenue for your gym, it's important to actually use the 80-20 rule. So you want to hand pick those strategies that are going to give you the best actual leverage and the best possible response with the least amount of effort. Your job is not to implement absolutely everything that you wrote down in the brainstorm. Your job is to pick the top 20% that will give you 80% of the results. So number three, take massive action. Number four, create new habits and kill the bad ones. Now, this is really important. So if someone had the goal of losing weight last year and then they come in this year, if you give them the framework to help them to actually resolve New Year's resolution, to resolve a flawed process, they're going to be far more likely to be successful. And one of those things they have to resolve is those poor habits. So let's say that they're a client, they want to lose weight, and their current habit is 2 nights a week. They go out with a girlfriend, they hit the cocktails, and then they don't make training the next day, or they're sort of consuming a whole bunch of high fatty foods or high energy foods while they're drinking. A way of actually making progress here and resolving that process problem is to actually replace that. So you stop doing the drinks on a Wednesday and Friday night, instead booking with a personal trainer at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday, 7 o'clock on a Friday, where you're actually not only replacing a negative thing, but you're replacing it with a positive thing, and you're having like a huge differential in how the body responds and how you're going to feel from it. A gym owner, for example, needs to stop things like vacuuming the floor. They need to stop going into their website and just adjusting the font or the text on the website for the 10th time, and replace that hour with jumping on sales calls and calling unconverted inquiries. One thing is an excuse. It's where we lie to ourselves and we go, oh, well, I've been busy this week. I've worked 60 hours a week. Yeah, bullshit. You've been like a caretaker, walking around like a janitor, just wiping the mirrors down and vacuuming. But no, that never grows your business. That's a poor habit. You've got to replace that with a habit that will actually have some real impact and grow your business. Sales is one example of doing that. So number 4 was create new habits and kill a bad one. Number 5 is habit stack. So what we suggest here is if you've already got habits of doing something like brushing your teeth or walking the dog, try and stack another habit on top of it. What you'll find is it's easy to create, it's easy to bring that new habit into your routine. So the client wanting to lose weight might decide that they're going to do 20 push-ups every time they walk the dog. They're already walking a dog 3 times a week. So if while they're out there at the park, they do 20, pop down and do 20 push-ups, it's an easy way for them to align those two things without having to remember and set a reminder in your watch or something like that. If you're a gym owner, for example, you might decide that after every team meeting on a Monday, you're going to go and have a short black coffee, and then you're going to lock yourself in a room and do those 1 hour sales calls. So you link one thing with another. It's called habit stacking. All right, we're doing good, guys. There's 5 we've covered so far. There's 8 of these that I want to check. Remember, the 8 that I'm giving you is how to resolve a poor process, which was the reason why perhaps you didn't achieve your business goals last year, and perhaps why some of your members are trying their best but didn't really achieve their weight loss or their strength or their fitness goals. So we're going to use these tips to help them as well. So number 6, you need to take immediate action. If someone is genuinely motivated, if they've come up and they've decided on one thing and it's lose 5 kilos, they've decided to focus on it for the full quarter, they've decided to follow the steps through. To take immediate action is to go to their fridge and remove all the junk food and throw it in the bin. It's to pour out the half bottles of wine that are sitting in the fridge. That's take immediate action. Number 7, don't wait for motivation, make it. It really fascinates me when someone goes, you know what, I just don't really feel motivated today. Like, no shit, motivation isn't something that just pops in and pops out. It's not really up to our God or our nature to sort of provide it for us. Like, motivation is something that you create. So if you want to achieve your goal and you want to smash it out of the park this year, it's important that you come up with a routine of things that you know will get you in state. So it's all good and well if you've got a weight loss goal for the client to sort of go out and walk or to exercise or attend the gym when they feel like it. But what we need is something that actually gets us back into gear when we've had a tough day at work, something that keeps us on track when our kids have been a pain in the ass. It could be your favorite song that you listen to. It could be that you meditate to an app for 5 minutes. It could be that you start the day with a green smoothie. Maybe you've got like a new exercise outfit that you get from Lorna Jane or something, which just helps you to get in that sort of headspace and plug back in. Now, the number 8 and the very last tip I want to give you to change and resolve what has been a poor process and really a reason or a catalyst for you not achieving anything you wanted to or not being able to achieve the big things you wanted to last year is partner up for accountability. So if it's a client and they've got a weight loss goal, they want to get out with a friend, they want to connect and say, hey, we're going to walk Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They might employ a personal trainer to check in with them to see how they're going. They might register with a fitness business where there's like a group class on and it starts at 6 o'clock 2 days a week, and they know if they get there or if they don't get there, someone's going to actually notice that they're not there. If it's a gym, you might connect with another gym owner. You might join the Gym Owners Network Facebook group that we run. You might get a business coach, but essentially you need some accountability because there's going to be some days where it's going to be hard. We know that. You've got a process in place that's really going to bolster your ability to actually stick to it. And the very last step, if you can actually get a friend or someone that's got a vested interest in seeing you succeed to keep a watching eye over you and just help you out on that 1 or 2 days in the quarter where you perhaps fall back into old habits or you just can't actually motivate yourself to get moving. I think that sort of partnering up and having someone in your corner is really helpful. So New Year's resolution don't work. Statistically, we know it. We know it's January. We know that majority of people, 85%, will have given up by the second week of Feb. And what I want you and your members to do differently is actually change the process. I want you to take on board these tips. If you've got questions, post them below. I'm also interested to know, of the 8 tips that I've shared, what's the one that you find is most useful and will make a difference for you in setting out your goal this time around? I'm Steve from Gym Hub. I hope you have a great week.